Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's O-Sheena. I am in my new space. I feel really good. This is my room. I moved. This is the new filming setup. Not officially though, because as you can see, I still have some work to do, but I at least filled this shelf. I don't know what's going on up here because Jesus, it's great. And then this needs some work and it's fine. But at least I have a bit of a background in the new space that I will be filming, and look at that lighting. It's natural. I have no light on, well, other than my bedroom light, but the window is glorious. So I'm so excited and I can't wait to make videos in this new place. So yeah, thank you so much for watching all of my pre-filmed videos. I've never pre-filmed that much before, but we made it and now I am here to like make videos in real time, which feels much better. I just didn't have time to make videos in real time, so I'm really happy that I pre-filmed and it went over great. You guys are great, and I've been slowly keeping up with comments, still a little bit behind, but eventually we will get there. So yeah, today's video is going to be my July wrap-up. I did mention in some other videos that I haven't been reading much, and that is slowly changing. I have been reading more in August, so that feels good. But in July I read 5 books, which is a small reading month for me, but I'm still excited to share these books with you and excited. I'm thinking at the end of this video, since it's probably going to be a shorter one, I will share the little story of how we got this place, because there's a bit of a God story there, so I will share that at the end. So the first book that I read in July is Things You Save in a Fire by Katherine. So yeah, this book, I gave it 5 stars. I feel like it's more of a 4.5 just because there was like swearing in it, which is in all of her books, but I give it 5 stars because the theme of forgiveness and almost like unconditional mercy that this book like presented through the characters was so beautiful. And to me, this could have easily been a Christian book if not for the swearing and like the references. But other than that, like, I was amazed. It was beautiful. So this book follows a female firefighter, and she lives in Texas. She is the only female on her team, but she is really good. Like, she's winning awards. She's like a really good firefighter. But she gets herself into a situation that causes her to have to be transferred to a small town firehouse. I don't remember what town. It's a totally different state, I think. And then also she moves in with her mom in the city that they're from. I really forget, but it doesn't matter. So she's living with her mom, which she has a very bad relationship with her mom. There's a whole story between them about that. Again, I feel like Katherine Center is so good at writing family drama in not a super annoying way. The reasons that these characters have issues with each other are really valid and real, whereas so many other family drama books are like so annoying because everyone's just selfish and rude and it's annoying. But in this case, like, the main character has so much reason to be mad at her mom, so, but she has to move in with her. So there's that. And then she starts at this new firehouse, and this firehouse is not used to having a woman on the team, and she basically has to prove herself to all these guys, and that's kind of where the stuff comes from that could have been cleaner, I guess. But at the same time, like, it really wasn't that bad. Like, they didn't refer to her in any kind of sexual way. Like, they actually left her alone. But, you know, just like mentions of intimate times were mentioned, and then there was like swearing. Not like a lot, but like enough that I saw it there. You know, I don't know if I'm selling this well, but the reason I love Katherine Center is for her themes, not for her language, I guess. Yeah. So to each their own, like, give it a shot. I really enjoyed it. Okay, next I read Troubled Waters by Susan May Warren, and this is book 4 in her Montana Rescue series, and I ended up really liking this book. I gave it 4 stars. I started this series last year, and I was kind of into it, but not really. Like, I was into it enough to read it. Do you hear that plane? My window's open. I still live by planes. Okay. So yeah, I started this series, and I like the way that Susan May Warren writes. I like her characters, but in this series, I wasn't sold on all of the characters. Like, there's a lot of characters. There's 6 books. And I just was like not loving all the characters. So honestly, the first 3 books follow characters I don't really care about. But this 4th book, I was like, oh good, like I saw that it follows the couple that is my favorite couple. So I read it and I really loved it. So yeah, you follow this big group of people, like they're different people in each book, but the plots do kind of build on each other, so you do have to read them in order. Yeah, you kind of do in this case. So I don't know if you want to do that, but it was a quick, easy ebook to read on my phone, so that's why I picked it up, and I'm glad I read it, and now I kind of want to finish the series because there's 2 books left, and I figure I might as well. So, okay, next I read The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks, and I loved it. I read this way back when the movie came out. I watched the movie first, and then I read this book, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Love the movie too. Okay, I do. I like Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth together. Sad, but yes. But this book, it feels like a Christian fiction book because there's truly like full-on faith in this book, and like themes of integrity and forgiveness, and it's so good. So you follow this teenage girl and her brother, a little brother. They're going to live with their dad for the summer. Their parents are divorced, and he lives like in this nice beach town. Again, forget where they're from. Somewhere in New York, I think. She hates being there. She doesn't want to be there. Her brother is excited. Her brother likes their dad more than she does. And you just like follow her time there, and it's really good. She meets a boy, obviously. But really, like, so her dad is a Christian. Her dad reads the Bible all the time, and like, yes, it's really good. Highly recommend. You might cry though. The movie made me sob, and then reading this book also made me cry because you know Nicholas Sparks, right? I would say this one has like a happier ending than normal for his books, but yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. It makes me want to read more Nicholas Sparks, but then I like really can't handle like super sad endings, like where either they don't end up together or everyone dies or whatever. That's usually the 2 endings that he has. Either someone in the couple dies or they just don't end up together. I don't want to read that. I don't. So this one is better than that. So, okay. Actually, I can put it back in its spot. Actually, I can't reach. I'm sitting on a stool, and I might fall over if I do this. But, oh, I got it. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. It's so hot. Okay. Next, I read Dreams of Savannah by Roseanna M. White. Yeah. I didn't like this book, and really, I basically DNF'd it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I just like don't connect with this author's writing or her characters. Yeah. I really gave it a fair shot though. I really did. I even said in one of my other videos that I was going to give it a fair shot, and I really tried. But it got to a point where I was like, I just don't care anymore. These characters are annoying. Skim, skim, skim. That's what I did. So I give it 3 stars, I think, but really it should be a 2. I'm sorry. So this follows the Civil War times, I think. It's set in America, in Georgia, in the South, and this girl's friend that is a guy, that they like each other, he goes off to war, and she stays behind, and it's that story. And he comes back, or he gets lost, or something. It's about their relationship. I mean, I didn't finish it, so. You know what? Move on. It's fine. Okay. Then I read, this is the last book. I read Wrapped in Rain by Charles Martin. And this book is interesting, okay? His books are always interesting. He has such a distinct writing style. I've never seen anyone write like he does. Like, it's literally the same in all of his books, and it's really beautiful. He's a really talented writer in a unique way. So this book follows two brothers, and it alternates chapters from their perspective, not the whole time, but like a lot of the time. And one of the brothers is like a really famous photographer, so he's like done well in his life. And then the other brother has a lot of cognitive issues. He is schizophrenic. He is basically schizophrenic, and I would say possibly autistic as well. And they both grew up with a very abusive dad. I forget what happened to their mom. I forget. But the dad was super abusive, and they had a nanny called Miss Ella who taught them about Jesus and loved them and prayed for them and protected them against their dad. So that's their upbringing, and they're grown men now. And the schizophrenic one is in a home, but he escapes. Yeah, okay, it says that on the back. He escapes from the mental hospital. So that's the story. The older brother has to like help him, and then along the way you get flashbacks to their life and like how they became who they were. And it really is a story of like forgiveness and redemption, but like hard moments. There were times like there were times when the dad like beat up Miss Ella, and it was like fairly described, and that was like really hard to read. I hate violence like that. I don't like reading violence like that, so yeah, I don't know. But I gave it 3 stars because it was slow in parts. Like, Charles Martin can kind of like go on with his writing, like he can kind of just, it's like poetic, I guess you could say, and sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, we're good, let's go. I like a little more action, I guess. So that's that. Glad I read it though. Okay, that's everything. That's all that I read. So yeah, okay, let's go on to the story of how we got this place. I got a lot of emails. Maybe I should check them. I would have wanted my sister to be here, but she is visiting our parents. She's not here with me for a little bit, so it's just me. So if you don't know anything, I decided I needed to move, really because my landlords wanted me to sign another year lease and I didn't want to, so I was like, I guess we're moving. Because then my sister was also ready to move because she graduated nursing school. So we decided to move to the city that I now work in, because the commute was really sucking the life out of me. I don't like commuting. Now that I know that, that's good. Anyway, so we decided that in May. Since then, my mom is a sleuth. She is a super skilled person at finding nice places to live for a good price on like Craigslist and Kijiji. So she's like searching away. She sends us places, like 3 places every single morning, okay? We message them, all of them, hear back from maybe 1 out of like 5. Go see it on the weekend. It's a no because it's either too small or get weird vibes or not good location, whatever. We end up not going for it. This happens the whole month of June and most of July, and it continues to happen, and we're like, is there like nowhere for us to live in this city? What's going on? So that was like stressful. Every weekend we were traveling to this city, like viewing places and meeting landlords and trying to figure out where we want to live. And it was like sucky. I didn't like driving so much. It cost me a lot of money too for gas, and it's tiring. That's why I didn't read as much, because I didn't have time. Plus I had to work on top of that. Like, weekdays were me working, so we couldn't do anything but on the weekends, so blah. If you guys remember the sister vlog that we did, we went and looked at an apartment that was, from our perspective, perfect. Perfect location, nice landlord, beautiful, and like a little bit expensive, but like we could make it work. It wasn't outrageous, but like it was definitely on the higher end than what I would feel comfortable paying at this moment. But we loved it otherwise, and so we applied for it. We ended up wanting it so bad that we prayed really hard for it. Like both of us just wanted it so bad, and also the move-in date could be July 15th, which would be so nice because then we would have 2 weeks to move in rather than a day because I was in my place until July 31st. So yeah, we prayed and prayed, and I just felt like everything pointed to us getting this place. Like it just looked good. I had faith for that. Like I felt like, yeah, like this has to be it. It just felt like it had to be it. And then he texted and said, we didn't get it. And I was like so disappointed. And I made a video kind of talking about it, how I realized like how disappointed I was. And I was reading in the Bible that sometimes it's good for us to not always get what we pray for, because then we'll always expect to get what we pray for. And God isn't a genie, right? I mean, we're all told that that like you can't just, you know, ask for anything and he'll give it to you. Like he knows best, right? So I had like quite a moment with God in all of that. And I will say that I just felt this permission to still pray that we get this apartment. And I just was like, I just believe that God can still give it to us. Like that would make it an even cooler story if we got it later and like he still answered, you know? So I was still kind of like banking on that. And in the meantime, we kept looking, and it was like, I don't know, July 22nd or something. It was in the 20s of July, and we still didn't have a place. And I was getting pretty scared because I had nowhere to go. Like we had nowhere to go, like near my job. Like I do have to be available to be in person in my job, and we had nowhere to live. So I was like, what do I do? And I really was like, God, I had to like have this like reckoning with myself. God has always provided for me. And every time I think he's not going to, he does. In the perfect right way. Like not in a way I expect all the time, and like not necessarily in a way that I like even, but he does always provide. And I had to like tell myself that over and over, like this is not going to be the time he doesn't come through for you. He has a place for you to live. And I had to like really put all of my faith on that. And it was so stinking hard. Every moment of the day, I was like, and I had to be like, no, you trust him. Trust him. And it was really hard. So then I posted in like a Christian Facebook housing group that we needed a place to live. And I was like, sure. Like I didn't really want to. I don't know why. I didn't think anything would come from it. But then that same morning we had someone comment on my post with a place. So I was like, all right. I mean, I looked at it and I'm like, I'm assuming these guys are Christians if they're in this group, so that would be cool. And that day we were going to view another place in this city. So we went and viewed the place. Was not going to work out once again. So then I was like, I'll just call this place, like maybe. And the guy answered, and he was like, yeah, come by tonight. I'm showing the place at this time. I'm showing it to another couple, but you guys can come too. So we were like, okay. So we go to it that night, and it's a fourplex. It has a huge, beautiful yard, a nice deck, a garden. It's super close to where I work, and it's like kind of secluded. Like we don't really have direct neighbors. It's smaller-ish, but like not, because it has 2 bedrooms, so that's great. All utilities included, and I was just like, well, we put in the application that night. I actually filled it out and gave it to him that night, because I was like, we need to know, okay? Otherwise we need to keep looking. And my sister was like, yeah, we need to know. So we give it to him. And we drive away. And we're like, we had a feeling he was going to give it to the couple because he kind of made it sound like he was going to. So whatever. So we're like, at least we tried, you know, keep looking, I guess. And so we're driving home and I get a call and it's him. And I was like, oh yeah, we're just driving home. And he's like, well, you might want to turn around because we want to offer you the place. And I was like, oh. Like, and I told him, we literally thought you were, like, we're shocked. And I was like, can we have like 5 minutes to talk? And he's like, yeah, just call me back, whatever. And so me and my sister were like, is this the place? So we called our parents and they're like, say yes. And so we said yes. And this is the place we're in. Yeah. And everything that I listed about this place, like, these are all my dreams. Like, I wanted a deck so bad. I wanted grass that I could like go on. Like I'm used to being surrounded by cement, right? In a basement suite. I did not want a basement suite. I wanted brightness. I wanted light for my plants and for me. I wanted grass to like lay on and like see. I wanted a garden. I wanted a deck, and utilities are included. Like, it's literally everything that I wanted, but I didn't even like think I could ask for it. Like, I was never really asking for these things. And this place has things that that apartment doesn't have. And so just like the providence of God, okay? Story continues. So, like July 27th or 28th or even 29th, one of those last 20th day of July, I get a text from that apartment guy and he's like, hey, are you and your sister still interested? And I was like, God answered our prayer. He answered our prayer for that apartment, but he immediately, I was like, God obviously wanted us in this place because he made it so we didn't get this apartment that we really wanted. But he still answered. Like, he still said, yeah, I could have given it to you, but I wanted you to have this instead. And I'm like so happy about it. So that's the story. God is good. He answers our prayers, but in the best way and in his perfect timing. And you can always trust that. And yeah, so I'm amazed. And it was just confirmation that this is exactly where we're supposed to be. And I'm so thankful for that. I did text the apartment guy back and I was like, well, next year, we already found a place, but like maybe next year. But yeah, I just was like, wow, God can do anything. He can make things appear out of nowhere. And we just have to trust that when things don't happen the way we want, it's for our good in the end. And as hard as that is, like, trust me, I've been through it. Okay? Work-wise, you guys know, like, yeah. The amount of like mental health battles and like physical health that I've been through because of the stress of my job in the past, I had to work through it a lot. And I feel like now I'm like coming out of the woods and seeing like a clearing of like peace and rest, and I'm so thankful. So I wanted to share that, and yeah, that is everything. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. Truly, like, I love this community and you guys are such a big part of my life. I'm so happy that I get to share it with you, and I want to be here for a long time because this really matters to me. So yeah, I hope you guys are encouraged by that, and I look forward to making all new videos here. And I did make a video actually setting up my shelves and doing this, so I guess that'll be the next video that you see because I do want to put this up on Saturday. So yeah, happy Saturday, and I guess you'll see my setup on Tuesday. So yeah, thanks guys, bye. So I don't know, but yeah, I did find that, yeah, whatever. It's still going. Okay, so